remembers what happens last week.
We met the storm giant. We made her feel better. We came to this town that's all about fortune telling. Alakul's teacup broke, which the shop owner took as a bad omen. So he went off to find this lady, who's apparently like one of the only legitimate fortune tellers in town. Later on, we ended up coming there too. She's apparently guiding them through or connecting them through to some to talk to the Mantis Queen for prophecies, and we're protecting them while that shit happens because we were attacked by a Taroka golem.
Basically, that's sort of vaguely what happened. So,
it is a general, abrupt, small summary.
Last week, sailing through the skies aboard the Skyweaver, you ran across a storm giantess. Initially you thought you were running into a storm, but that storm seemed to have a swirling vortex within it. And setting the ship down to make sure that it wasn't caught within the storm and blustered about, you ended up finding out that within the center of this vortex was a young storm giantess, having fled to the material plane because her other storm giant colleagues and friends had been making fun of her. She had terrible self-esteem, thinking that she was ugly, she was worthless, but you cheered her right up. You don't know what makes a storm giantess ugly or anything like that, but you suspected that she was pretty much normal looking. In fact, possibly reasonably pretty. And more importantly, she was from a rich family, and they were probably just making fun of her because she was wealthy and well off. At least that's what you told her, and that seemed to cheer her spirits greatly. She had a mask that they had given her that she was carrying with her, and it turned out the mask cast disguised self to make her look like a big old fatty. And if they were trying to make her look uglier than she was, chances are she wasn't that ugly in the first place. Otherwise, they would just make fun of her for being ugly. In the end, she left the mask behind, traveled back home to her native plane, and, well, she felt better about herself. You saved a storm giantess's self-esteem, self-worth, and possibly made a friend should you ever end up in her realm, which isn't particularly likely, but always possible. After that, you continued sailing onwards, eventually landing at your next stop, the final stop before you reach the capital, because the capital's still another 2 weeks away of travel. You have like I said, you can get 2 weeks of storage and supplies on there. You landed in the town of Dern, a town of superstition, fortune-telling. You learned about it from Yonduin, who had been there before. He had not done a particularly fair amount of trade there. Turns out bards that are just musicians don't make a very good living in the town of Dern. But he knew that they were unnaturally superstitious, the type of place where, you know, everything that sort of bad happens is like, oh, that's a bad omen. If you spill salt, you gotta throw it over your shoulder. They had a particular habit where whenever they walked through the threshold of a door into a building, they'd reach up and they'd sort of touch the area above it. That sort of thing, you know, stuff like that. Whenever they arrived in Dern, they noticed, one, nobody was that surprised to see Alakul. In fact, a small child was dressed as a Thrycreen, running around having adventures. And whenever they approached the inn, someone basically said to Alakul, "What, you're back already?" And learned that it was no more than a week or so since another Thrycreen had gone through town and left. In fact, no fewer than a dozen had been around in maybe 6 to 8 months or so. All looking for the same thing, all having had the exact same vision, Mantis Queen. All of them seeking this town that was supposedly sort of renowned for fortune telling, as a baseline, a place where they can ask, you know, what does it mean? Because it's extremely unusual for Thrycreen to have the same visions. In fact, it's extremely unheard of until it just started happening. So Alakul's like, alright, who did they go to? And many of them had gone to some of the cheaper fortune tellers, but some had gone to the very, very expensive, but also very, very renowned, and by the owners of the inn's sort of admission, one of the very few actual ones, fortune tellers that has any sort of insight or vision beyond, like, cold reading and things like that. Madame Vestia de Andra, a surprisingly young and beautiful fortune teller, despite her advanced age. She is from Beaz Kumlahar, and she wears the vestiges of her heritage, essentially. She wears sort of colorful, garish, thin, loose-fitting robes and a large sort of turban and all sorts of jewelry, stuff like that. She is that. She herself wouldn't go into too much detail, essentially saying that it was sort of, her readings were meant to be private between her and the readies, but although she did tell of a couple things she saw, but she wasn't sure exact 100% what it meant. She did, however, feel a certain connection to Alakul's sword, the Mantis Claw, one forged in the Cold Forge with the aid of his guide, and saw that there is indeed almost an invisible connection, a thin line between the sword and the Mantis Queen herself. One that she, as a particularly skilled fortune teller and fairly and sort of diviner, she can follow. She can trace that line in her astral form, and she could take 2 people with her. And so Alakul and Zara decided to go to the Mantis Queen, world of the Mantis Queen, Great Hive, hopefully be able to confer with her, whatever that means. It's hard to know what that means when you're coming into contact with a god, but however, the action of following this line, basically taking their souls to another plane, another realm, would leave their bodies vulnerable, and it was going to attract unwanted spirits that may try to do them harm, or worse, may try to take over their bodies and use their vessels. So the rest of the party is staying within the tent of Madame Vestia to deal with any sort of strange things that occur. One of which was one of the statues came to life and was able to draw cards from the Taroka deck, and depending on what card was drawn, could cast various magic spells off the cards. So, it was neat. And whenever we left off within the Great Hive, Alakul and Zara had just arrived at the Mantis Queen, seeing her basically in the central chamber. She is this massive, sort of bug-like creature that has 6 arms. 2 of them are large mantis claw arms that have obviously the sort of serrated ends, and she uses those to cut strings and cut pieces of a great tapestry that she is weaving all time from an infinite amount of various different colored silk that seems to come from holes in the ceiling. And she had her 4 other arms are smaller, and they have like human hands on them, and they look like human arms that are 2 below her. They're the arms below her big old mantis claws. They're the ones that are constantly doing weaving and sort of putting the tapestry together with incredible speed and deftness and accuracy. It's sort of freaky looking.
Yeah.
Her face is humanoid, but it has mantis eyes. So it's freaky looking.
Yeah.
And the question is, who do we start with? The group with the Mantis Queen? Or the group in the tent? Oh, and I forgot, Klaus noticed that, got the feeling that he was being followed and something, and, turns out he was. Sort of before the fight, a veiled figure came in, looking for him. There's a moment where Klaus went out, and it's his good friend Siegfried. Now that he's getting so close to his home, he's drawn the attention of some of his previous, I guess, friends / lovers. Siegfried gave him a big ol' hug, and he's helping you fight off, basically the statues and stuff that are coming to life and being inhabited by spirits. So that's what happened.
One of the babysitter's problem.
Siegfried's like, shit, you got ugly. I stayed hot.
Yeah, he's magically undead.
He's-
just like regular.
Yeah, he's vampire hot, so
Have we ever
Who's
thought about
fault?
just sticking Klaus in the freezer to preserve him?
just freeze my arm.
He'll be alright.
And that's where we pick up. Eckhart, you were on the ship, resting. Unfortunately, Nipsey Brightbuckle went out with the rest of the group, and you were kind of left alone, a little bit bored, searching for something to do before wandering off to find your allies. After asking around, specifically after the, Thrycreen, that you're following and trying to help out, everyone was pretty able to point you in the direction of Madame Vestia's tent, because obviously there's only one Thrycreen in town right now, and so
Gotcha.
you were able to be
Thank God,
pointed
because
there.
all Thrycreen look the same.
Raises that.
They do look very similar to the eyes of a human. It's convenient because Alec Cool absolutely needs someone to protect his body. So
Hell yeah.
that is serving your purpose pretty readily. It's a shame you weren't here last week. You could have gone with him, held his hand. The hands.
More useful than Connor, because Connor just isn't going to be here to say anything. So
I can play Zara. I have a good pseudo gesture voice.
Well, we'll start. We'll start with the tent group, and maybe
All
that'll
right.
give Connor time to hear.
And here,
Within the tent, it is now pretty dark outside. You can see that at least from within, the light casts a pretty sort of strange glow. A lot of it is very purple light that seems to emanate from arcane sort of runes that have been inscribed on the ground. A little bit from sort of small lanterns. Back here, in the sort of back area, which is Madame Vestia's personal living space, there's a small stove that is lit and casts light across the room, essentially illuminating the bodies of Zara, Vestia, and Alec Cool, all huddled around the bed, or in the bed. It has been roughly about an hour since the last statue attack, so you are able to take a short rest. But, as you sort of sit there and watch, go ahead and roll a perception check for me.
Okay. $17.
Straight fire, 1 not natural.
Oh, you wanted Eckhart. Sorry.
Oh, I didn't know who. I just assumed it was everybody.
Everyone.
Yeah, just
Oh, I didn't realize Eckhart was already in the 10.
24.
Alright. It's about that time. Eckhart comes wandering in and asks you what happened, or what's been going on. Conveniently sort of giving him a excuse to come in. Eckhart, you can see within the back area there's actually quite a few cooking supplies and things like that that have Madame Vestria's sort of basically groceries. There's a long hunk of what appears to be some sort of ham, carrots and onions and potatoes, all sort of laid out for general cooking. At the top, like a sort of rough wooden table, there's a desk back there that has sort of all sorts of missives, but it looks like they're all weird star charts and things like that, and sort of astrological readings and whatnot. But after a couple of minutes, Klaus, you hear what sounds like creaking coming from down here, as Siegfried sort of turns and looks back through the doorway as well. He says, "Did you hear that?"
Yes, we are
Hear what?
God.
Huh?
We might have company. More statues?
Siegfried kind of nods his head and walks over to these statues and starts trying to inspect them.
Accidentally.
I'm gonna help him.
Aw, I'm just gonna stand in the doorway.
I'll say, let me go to drawing tool. This statue is already gone because it was awoken. They start looking at the statues, these sort of wood statues that have all sorts of appendages and items that they wear that are cast in sort of like, they're like gilded with gold leaf. Give me an investigation roll. Are you looking at statues too, Eckhart?
I'm just gonna watch in general,
16.
in case it is not a statue, and they get jumped.
Alright, Klaus. Let's see. Just, do 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 do. Not okay. You and Siegfried sort of look up, or split up, looking at these two statues. And then you hear the creaking once again, Klaus. Still behind you, as you can see, this statue right here is slowly starting to move. Its head twisting towards you, coming to life much as the last statue did. Slowly rising up to its feet. All right. As it slowly rises up, this orb shoots from the pedestal it's on and flies into its hand. And you can go ahead and roll initiative, Klaus. Well, technically everyone, go ahead and roll initiative. Go ahead and...
And I would say I'll let Klaus 1v1.
Alright. Klaus, your investigation was high enough not to be surprised.
Yay!
Hey.
Hell surprise.
Can I, as a free action, tell Siegfried to continue investigating the statues instead of participating in the fight?
Sure.
It's not like they would be fighting anyway.
Siegfried
See
nods
if you
his...
can find anything that can disable these statues or prevent them from joining the fight, because I don't trust any of the rest of these now.
Siegfried kind of nods his head. Says, well, I can certainly keep looking. So it goes first round through surprise rounds. Klaus, you're not surprised. I don't know what Reed's investigation was, but his perception
Oh, I
wasn't
didn't
high enough
investigate.
either.
I was kind of just looking and poking at him.
So Reed didn't notice. Eckhart also didn't notice, so it goes to Klaus. It is standing there. It has the orb held tight, clutched tightly within its hand.
Steady and menacingly. Spell that shit like that. Nothing that'd be too helpful. Oh, yeah, I'm gonna need this one. Okay, 5 details. Alright, I'm
Something
going
cool.
to use my bonus action to cast Shadow Blade. And I'm going to move right there, and I'm going to ready an action to attack the orb statue that comes close to it.
Alright. You're ready in action, preparing for if the orb statue charges you. And you don't have to wait long, because it sort of slowly turns in place and trundles forward. Thud, 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 straight up to you. It's the glowing orb in one hand, a massive stony or wooden fist in the other. Well, not a wooden fist in his hand, but the other hand a wooden fist. You are free to make an attack.
Wonder. Will it do it? It will. 20 to hit.
Alright. You turn, your shadowy blade latching out at it, and as you do so, almost immediately, the glowing orb surges with energy, and then it completely extinguishes itself. And you find that your blade completely falters, and it's as if your arm is yanked to the side as it gives you a 2 on your roll instead of a 13.
Interesting.
So that would be a 2 plus 4, 6 plus 3, so that would make it a 9.
That's a really cool mechanic.
So that was its movement. It is going to make a slam attack against you. It's only going to be a 16, however.
That's a miss.
You are able to dodge to the side as it brings its massive wind hand down. And as it sort of slowly leans back, it clutches the orb, and it is going to use its bonus action, or prescience, to recharge it. Wow, that is, okay. Alright, and the orb immediately bursts back into life, glowing once again. But that's all for its turn. It goes to Siegfried, who is surprised. So it goes to the actual first round without anyone being surprised. Fried. You did see the orb go out, and the blade be turned to the side, and now you can see he's reignited it.
Alright, well, let's go ahead and just try it again, and I'm just going to go up, and we're just going to start off with the unarmed strike.
I'll go right now.
That is a 29.
That'll hit.
No fancy shenanigans?
He can do it whenever he wants to, basically, so.
Okay. Well then, for the second hit, that's a 27.
That'll hit.
Okay, so he's taking 18 bludgeoning damage if that matters. I know it mattered for the other one. And by mattered, I meant basically everything. Freaking. It was resistance against basically everything.
They've got lots of magical
okay.
protections on them.
Since we do that, you know what? Let's spend... No, I'm a little short on health right now, so let's just go ahead. I'm going to take the key point and take the dodge action as my bonus.
Okay.
And I'll stop there.
Alright. Goes to Eckhart.
Okay. I'm going to use bonus action to rage. As one does.
Feed him some angry soup.
Consume resource. We'll see if this calculates in my rolls, because it sure didn't last time. But
I mean, I doubt it. I don't think it's set up to calculate like that. Not with after some modules on here.
that's fair. Okay, I can't quite reach him, but that's fine. So yeah, bonus action, I will rage, and then I am going to... Now, I'll just hold the attack action. Now, yes, I'll hold the attack action in case he moves.
Okay.
And that'll be it for me.
Goes to Klaus. Well, Klaus is gone. Klaus dies.
Rip, my dude.
Uh-oh.
Oh, looks like Klaus just got delayed to the end of the turn. And if he's not back by then, it's the dodge action. Well, this old statue is going... Shit. I need Klaus here for that too! No, I don't. That's okay. It's gonna take the opportunity attack from Klaus. And whatever Klaus rolls, it gets replaced by a roll that I know misses. As the orb once again extinguishes, as Klaus swings at him, and it completely just ends up whiffing the blade, causing it to go out, as he did indeed get another 2 on his prescience roll. So he basically replaces it with a 2 again.
Okay.
And he's gonna sort of move down here towards the other statue. Give itself a little bit of back room. It'll make another swing against, or it'll make a swing against you with its big old fist read. It has disadvantage though. Let's see, it's 27 on the first one, and well, it's a good thing that he had the disadvantage because he crit this high end. 27 for the low one.
Jesus. That hits.
You take 23 points of bludgeoning damage.
Fuck, okay.
Ooh.
Klaus, you got delayed till the end since you weren't here.
Christ.
Damn.
I didn't see your I forgot your HP bar was like at half already. Like Christ Almighty, dude.
No, me, I was at full.
And
No, I'm
when,
talking about
me.
Reed.
whenever he ran, you got an opportunity attack, but he replaced your attack with his prescience roll, which was a 2 again. So,
Damn, so I crit?
so you missed on your opportunity attack.
Rip.
But gonna go, and that caused the orb to fall away, but it's gonna use its bonus action to reignite it. Okay. Goes to Siegfried. He is going to dash over to here. No, he can make that. And he is going to roll an investigation check on the runes that were around the orb.
Yeah, what's that thing doing while the precious thing is going on? I wonder if the floor is doing anything as well.
Okay. He starts analyzing them, as he says, it's clearly some sort of divination magic. I need a little bit longer to study them. As he hunches over the runes and keeps looking at them. So he got 1 success so far. He definitely knows there's fucky divination magic going on here. More than that, he is going to have to continue analyzing it, so it should be another turn. And then it goes to you, Klaus, since I delayed you to the end.
Alright.
Can I, while Klaus deliberates, may I ask an out-of-character ethics question?
Sure.
Since Nick and I are literally not present at the moment, would it be rude if I were to play something in the background?
As long as you don't say anything.
Understood. I don't like paying attention to things that I'm literally not present for because it makes me feel dirty.
Like you have information that you're not supposed to have.
Yeah, it breaks my scene. But I will let Klaus carry on.
Alright, I'm gonna move up. I'm going to use my bonus action. Psychic Blades first. I don't have. No, he's not surrounded, is he?
Technically not yet.
Yeah, no, not yet. That's a 12.
12 does not hit.
Alright.
An unfortunate roll.
With-
Only slightly better than the 2 you were given.
See, I would hope that, like, if I rolled a 2, the orb would glow and turn it into a fucking 19. But I don't imagine he would deliberately hurt himself.
Probably not. Alright.
Let me hang on. Where the fuck? Why is it not on there? It was up there before. I don't know where it went. I was trying to cast Psychic, not Psychic Blade, fucking Shadow Blade. Whatever, I'll just scroll up and see what it was. 1d20 plus 7. That's a 9.
Wow. You keep getting two'd.
Damn 2s from the media.
Alright. So that was the end of the round. It goes to the top of the round with Reed.
Okay. Well, I'm in some trouble here, so I'm gonna have to back out.
Yeah.
So Reed will take the disengage action. Then
They only hit
Come on.
once, or this one only hits once, but it can hit fucking hard.
Alright. Then, just in case, because I don't want him following me, I'm being a massive pussy here, but I'm gonna use a key point in to take the dodge action as my bonus.
Okay. Not a bad
And
idea.
Unfortunately, that's gonna be the end right there.
Right. Goes to Eckhart.
Going to smash.
Alright, now you're flanking him.
Yeah, baby. Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna hit him. 27.
27 hits.
Alright. Normal. Oh god. Okay, let me see here. Gotta make sure my rage is correct, because that's been a problem in the past. Yeah, because that's the proficiency bonus, and then it's a +1 magic weapon, right? 11, 12, 13. So it should be 14 with the rage bonus.
Right.
+3 for the first hit. Second one. 26.
That'll hit as well.
And then a normal, +3, that's 12.
Alright. You begin hewing into him. Chopping into its wooden form, taking great chips of it out. Anything else from Eckhart?
and- Nope.
Alright. Scary. It goes to the orb statue's turn. Who's it gonna hit? Let's find out.
Well, I had end turn and it skipped over Klaus, I think.
Oh, okay. Wow, so it goes
That's
to your
my bad.
turn.
Alright. Let's start with a bonus action first. $21.
Hey, that'll hit.
For 8 plus sleep. 17 damage.
That does good damage. Pretty high damage, because it's not immune to... It doesn't have any resistance to psychic damage.
And I'm gonna use my action to hit it with Shadow Blade. Which is an 11. One of these days, Shadow Blade's gonna do something.
It'll work one day.
I'm
Now
just
it
gonna stay
will
on my
go.
goddamn spellbook until I do something useful with it.
Now it will go from Klaus to the orb statue. Who's going to... I rolled a 1 to determine who it's going to attack. It's going to be against Eckhart.
Yeah.
Alright. Make your slam attack. You can see as it lifts its hand up, It's about to flail widely, and then the orb bursts with light, and it's gonna make its roll. Instead of a 1, a 19. As he's gonna
Fantastic.
use up the charge for the 19 he got. So then it's gonna be a 19 plus 10, so it'll be a 29 to hit you, Eckhart.
Weirdly enough.
God
That hits.
damn.
Alright. You take 20 points of bludgeoning damage, but you're raging, so it is half damage, obviously.
Nice.
And it will reignite the orb as it stores another number as a bonus action. Okay. I've written it down. That is it. It's not going to try to move. It's going to go to Siegfried's turn. He continues investigating the runes. This time he is going to make an Arcana check. Probably should have had him selected, but it's a 15. He looks at it and he begins sort of messing with the runes, saying, Yes, I think I understand. I think I know. And then all of a sudden, his eyes sort of lose focus, and his face goes slack as the orb on the statue fades, and instead of a 15, he will receive a 5 for his roll, so he ends up failing that roll. However, the statue has used its orb roll very early on, so it doesn't have one until its next turn.
Yes.
It goes to Reed.
Alright.
Siegfried is investigating the runes. It looks like there is some sort of mechanic here, or something that can be done about the orb. However, unfortunately, he failed his last roll, so it's at least going to be another turn till he figures it out. Unless someone helps him, other people can undertake these checks as well.
Alright. Well, unfortunately, I know nothing about magic, so Reed is going to do what he does best. Well, second best. And I actually want to throw a dart. Can I specifically throw a dart at the orb?
Sure. It'll be a difficult throw. You'll have disadvantage.
Okay.
Luke, you've been around magic users for like 6 months.
Doesn't mean that Reed knows how to do magic. That's a 22.
It flies through there, and it just catches the edge of it, taking a, how much damage you do?
It did 9.
It takes a little chunk of it off, and it is a nice little chick. As you can see, the orb flickers on and then off, then on and then off. So you did do some damage to it. Not enough to completely shatter it, but the orb is not invulnerable. It can be damaged as well, but it's pretty hard to hit.
Well, let's try it one more time with another dart. That one looks like it's a 16.
That does not hit, unfortunately.
Alright. Bonus action. I don't think I can do a bonus action with my ranged weapons. I could have used Flurry. Oh, or I could have used Kensei Shot. Oh well. Same thing? You know what? No, let's save my key point, so I'm not gonna do a bonus action right now.
Yeah, now.
My turn's ended.
Alright. Next in line, Eckhart.
I have a rules question, Colin.
Yeah.
So I possess the cantrip Booming Blade,
Yes.
and so I brandish my weapon, and I make a melee attack with it.
Mm-hmm.
So would that mean I still get my second attack because I'm still taking the attack action even though I'm casting a cantrip because it's with the weapon or not?
You're using the casting a spell action to make a melee attack.
Okay. I was just asking in case I got 3 because I also have Frenzied Strike, so when I cast a cantrip, I can make a melee bonus action attack. I was just making sure I didn't get 3 attacks because that'd be something. So I'll Booming Blade him for the first hit.
Blade go boom.
A 26 to hit.
Would you believe that actually hits?
Yeah, weird. That's fucking good damage. So that's 16 damage.
Right.
And if he moves, he takes 2d8 thunder damage. And then I'll use my bonus action melee hit. A 27 to hit. I'm rolling fucking fire, boys.
27 will hit, and he has nothing to replace it with.
And 12 damage for the second.
Alright.
That'll be it for me.
He's had quite a few chunks out of his wooden form. Like I said, he's resistant to most damage, but not impervious. And at this point, his form is holding up pretty well, but now he shows very visible signs of damage. Scuffs and great gashes in the wood. The gilt on it having been ripped away in some places. That is it for you. It goes to Klaus.
Alright. I'm going to break his wood. So 1 through 10 plus 7. I'll just go ahead and hit him with a Shadow Blade. With a 14.
Not enough, unfortunately.
Not enough. Alright, let's do... You know what? No, I can't do that. It's a button. Yeah, that's action. Oh wait, hang on a second. I forgot I have advantage. I'm gonna
You
roll
do.
20. $22.
Hey, a 22 is enough.
Yay! How much damage is it do?
Do you ever wonder who thought it was a good idea to make Mr. Deeds?
Yes,
Adam Sandler.
it did make Mr. Deeds.
I know,
20 points.
because he
damage.
thought it was a good idea.
Big psychic damage on the orb statue.
And then I'll bonus action. Psychic dagger. Do you want to use the old roll or do you want to use?
You can use the old roll, that's fine.
Alright, so that's a 27. For an extra 5.
Right. And it's psychic damage, so full damage. Alright,
God
anything
damn,
else?
being a solo is fucking great.
Anything else for Klaus?
No, sir.
Gonna go to the orb statue, who's going to turn and swing at you, Klaus. (27) versus armor class.
That'll hit.
For 24 points of bludgeoning damage. And it's going to ignite the orb as its bonus action. Wow, that is stunningly mediocre. Alright. It goes to Siegfried, who is going to attempt once again an Arcana check. Probably actually select Siegfried. 16. He moves to the runes and he starts once again fiddling with them. This time, he smudges out one room and you can see the light of the orb flickers and fades. As Siegfried says, I think I can keep affecting the runes. So a successful Arcana check on the circle will disable the orb, essentially.
Keep trying.
It goes to Reed. Longer has access.
let's go ahead and try it. So it's this. Is it the orb here in the center, or just the rune? Or
The runic markings, just the runes. You have to just be next to it, essentially.
Okay. Well, I'm not good at this, but let's give it a try.
Worth a shot.
That's a 6.
Not quite good enough, fortunately.
And that's my turn.
It was a good shot. However, you do
I
learn.
cannot make heads or tails of these runes.
You do learn a little bit about the runes. As you see, Siegfried says, "No, you want the smaller runes within the larger runes." As he kind of shows you what to do about it.
Refine fruit.
Huh? Eckhart.
May come as a surprise as a barbarian that I will smash him. 22.
Barbarian, good smash.
Yes. 14.
14 big points of damage.
A second smack. 19 to hit.
Just
Faces armor class.
just barely enough to hit. You managed to get a little bit of a nick on him.
16 points.
Right. Again, you swing your totem around. You're hitting him, but you're not doing quite as much damage as you would expect.
That's fair.
As he is magically hardened. But it's nice to have Klaus's. It's a chance for Klaus's psychic damage to shine. Anything else?
Nope.
It is going to go Klaus.
Woo! Alright, will it hit? Not gonna roll one more time. 15.
15, not quite enough, unfortunately. You leap
Alright.
into the sky, your psychic blade, shadowy blades lashing out, but all it does is it manages to lift its arm and kind of push you away. What? That was your first attack. What was your you got a second one, right?
27.
That's
You hit all the bonus ones.
That's a lot better.
Damn, that's 20 points right there.
Alright. Another strong blow against him. Alright. After being pushed away from the massive statue, you find yourself bouncing off the sort of canvas of the tent like a trampoline to rebound, this time dodging beneath the outstretched arm of the statue and bearing it directly into its chest. There's nothing else from Klaus, it goes to the statue. It is going to make a... It is going to... It'll make an attack against Eckhart. Give him the slam. It's only gonna be a 15. Not a good roll.
Man, one short of hitting me there.
And then it is going to use its bonus action to reignite Orb. It's much better. Alright. And with that, it's gonna go to Siegfried. Who will once again try to disable an Arcana check. Unfortunately, as Siegfried is trying to mess with the rooms, he looks a little bit confused. Wait. I don't see the right runes, as he failed his check, unfortunately. Goes to Reed.
Well, let's give it a try again.
That's okay.
Here,
The
maybe if I...
DC got
over
lower
here.
lower because Siegfried helped you earlier.
Hey, 17.
Alright. Following his advice, you look at the smaller runes between several of the large runes, and not quite sure exactly what to do, you just start smudging all of them out and sort of using your dart to just start carving away at them. And with a successful check, it loses the 3 that it had rolled.
That's basically what I was expecting Reed to do, just...
So it loses its orb power for the turn. And it goes to Eckhart.
Alright.
The orb statue is beat up really badly at this point. Its left leg has almost been entirely hacked through. Its torso is bearing all sorts of scuffs and I said cunts. Cuts. It's got all
nice.
sorts of cunts.
Wow. Does that mean everybody can fuck it at the same time?
If you
Yeah, but
open
you
up
get-
enough wooden holes in it.
Yeah, but you get splinters, dude.
Yeah, it wants to be filled with wood.
Hey, goody.
It is barely standing at this point.
Bam! 27 to hit.
27 hits.
Yeah. 14. Is he dead?
No, however, you do manage to cleanly cleave through his leg as he tumbles to the ground, basically prone, with one
Alright.
leg just missing.
Okay.
Attack. Advantage. Is it auto crit because he's prone?
No, he's not.
No, I don't know why I said that. Yeah, 28.
28 does hit.
Pretty good.
Unfortunately,
good.
he does not. He's not incapacitated or anything like
Oh
that.
yeah, incapacitate. You're correct. 14.
All right.
Incapacitator.
As it tries to rise up, you bring the axe down on it, or the totem down on its back, with a terrible crunching sound as splinters of it then fly away.
Excellent.
He is still up, but barely. As it goes from Eckhart to Klaus, you have the chance to give him the coup de grace.
Cootie Grace.
The coup de grace.
I remember one of the Dragon Ball fighting games, fucking Hercule would say that shit when he did the attack. It was the best. So he's like got a torso and that's it?
He's got a leg, 2 arms, and a torso, but it's all beaten up, and one leg is just completely severed. He's prone on the ground, has not had the chance to try to stand up.
Alright, I want to try and finish it off in excessive fashion. I want to try and make a sleight of hand to take the orb from him and just smash it against his skull.
Okay. I'll allow it since he's beat up so badly on the ground. Make a sleight of hand. Boy, this is probably not going to go great for him. He got an 8.
26.
Alright, you do manage to pull the orb away from him. It's already damaged. It's got a large chip from it. And,
Alright, so is that,
it is
improvised weapon?
It is an improvised weapon.
That's just plus dex. $23.
Alright. You, as it sort of tries to grab at it, you just dart back enough to move out of its reach and immediately return. Arm outstretched, the already chipped orb in your hand, plummeting down directly onto the skull of this wooden statue, and it shatters. The crack that it was, or the chip that was already in it, leads to a crack that runs down it, and much like a sort of glass that has been put under pressure, it just completely obliterates, sending out not just shards of glass, but this weird sort of arcane energy as it is. It is basically destroyed. I need Eckhart to make a dexterity saving throw. Klaus, you need to make a dexterity saving throw. The orb automatically fails, or the statue automatically fails the saving throw.
Even with advantage, 12.
It is DC 14.
13. Damn, we both failed.
Yeah, I have a little bit of dex. Not very good there.
You take 18 points of psychic damage.
Ouch.
However, the statue is summarily destroyed as the shockwave from the orb shreds the statue, causing its head to explode in splinters and its body to just be ripped apart, as it is dead. Fully destroyed by the final blow of the orb.
Wait for real, Ziggy.
Alright. That's it for the statue that had the orb. We've dealt with the Taroka statue and the orb statue. All that's left is the astrolabe that sits over here.
Bro, you would think I'm beating this dog, even though she didn't want to go poop.
With my massive, massive barbarian intelligence, can I make some type of correlation between the orb thing over here and one of the statues? So I have like an idea of what's coming next, maybe.
Oh, like which one it's gonna be?
Yeah, like if they're matching symbols or like design elements, or if it's just random.
Sure, you can try.
Sure can. What would you like me to roll, Colin?
You can roll an Arcana check, or a Perception check, or an Investigation check. Will work as well.
Mm-hmm. All equally bad. Big brain magic. Ooh, natural 20. AKA 19.
It does not seem that there is any link. It seems like it is randomly chosen.
Okay, that makes sense.
However, you have seen where you have heard that this one used the Taroka deck and that one used the crystal orb. It does seem they're using the arcane divination implements,
Okay.
and the astrolabe is left.
I walk over to it. I call Siegfried up. I'm like, have me take a look at this before the next one kicks our ass.
I was just gonna hit it. If it's broken, I don't think it can use it.
She still has our friends in some sort of dream world. I don't know if I want to break her shit.
You can go ask. Alright, I'm gonna go over here.
Alright.
So is she like conscious, or is she like in a trance?
She's in trance.
Okay. I'll just come back, act like I went in there, and be like, "Listen, Klaus, she said it's fine."
You got the okay to smash the shit.
That seems like a real deception check right there.
Actually, yeah.
What do you mean? 3, Klaus. Beat that.
I mean, his passive insight's probably higher than that.
Duh.
I think it is.
Alright, I won't smash it, but what if I just like hold on to it so it can't get it?
You can indeed hold on to it. As you touch it, you see it's actually very sturdy, as if it's anchored to the ground, and your hands tingle slightly. There seems to be some, your magical abilities being sort of in tune with magic. You get the feeling there is definitely certain magic on this item. It is indeed a magical item.
Okay.
Yeah, I call Siegfried over here to look at it. See if there's anything, I guess, similar to the runes you saw with the orb. Maybe we can at least get out ahead of the next one.
Alright. You can do that during your downtime. There will be you can take a short rest before anything else happens. It will be at least an hour, so you can spin hit dice, etc., etc. Meanwhile, in the hive of the Mantis Queen. Gracie, shut up and kill yourself. That dog ain't right.
Dog is not here.
Who, do what?
Nick is not here.
Well, it's a good chance for Zara to do some role-playing, wouldn't you say?
I mean, I'm role-playing by myself. Okay, sure. What do I got?
Okay, turn on the right music.
Yeah, you turn on music.
Within the heart of the great hive, you stand before the mighty Mantis Queen. Its arms a flurry of activity, impossibly fast and impossibly graceful, as it weaves a great tapestry from infinite strands of multicolored silk that falls from various holes in amongst the ceiling, amongst the walls, amongst the floor. You stand on a small walkway that extends out to her. There's something both savage and severe and beautiful about her. She is mantis-like indeed. She has two massive mantis arms used to cut the strings and the tapestry, while her four human arms weave it carefully. Her great face, both beautiful and terrifying, is that of a beautiful woman, but with terrible mantis eyes and small antennae that stick out from the top. Her form, sort of elongated, strangely humanoid, except for the sort of back end of a mantis that sticks out behind her. You can see along this back end, much like aphids on a plant, there are small sort of green bugs that tend to her, massaging her, making sure that she's comfortable as she weaves and watches the tapestry of fate. As you approach, you can see several of them go on alert and scatter away. These tiny, sort of green, aphid-like creatures, moving initially to intercept you, but after a moment, seeming to part, allowing you passage, as you and Alakul walk along a walkway into this massive central chamber. The Mantis Queen says nothing, but you still, and even though she doesn't turn her face to you at all, you still feel her regard. You know that even though her eyes aren't on you, she is watching you, sensing you, understanding you as you look around and see this is a hive. All around the central chamber are other creatures, their eyes on you. A singular hive mind giving her all the information she needs to know about you. As, even though she doesn't watch you with her own eyes, thousands of sets of other eyes watch you and transmit that to her. Yeah, pretty fucked up. There is a moment of sheer silence, terror, as she does actually turn to regard you. Her giant bug-like eyes staring deep within you. And she suddenly takes her massive mantis claw and rips off a piece of the tapestry and throws it at you, its silken form falling to the ground in front of you. It merely shows her standing before the two of you. And while she doesn't speak to you, the question is clear in your mind. Why are you here?
I didn't quite make that out. What was on the tapestry?
It shows you and Alec Cool standing before her as she towers over you, looking up to her. And while she doesn't speak to you, there's something about looking at the tapestry that makes her intentions known, her question clear. She's asked, "Why are you here?" without sort of speaking to you. It's sort of her her communication is that she gives pieces of the tapestry, and you kind of understand what they mean, or at least vaguely understand what she's asking just by reading it and looking at it. But she doesn't speak in like the natural way.
Sure. Do I see imagery on the rest of the tapestry? The part that's whole and being woven?
All of that is moving so fast and so quickly, and it's changing so quickly you can't discern anything.
Like a VHS.
It's
on
basically
fast forward?
it's basically a swirl of colors, like a VHS on fast forward.
Alright, I'm back.
Well, truth be told, it doesn't seem to make much sense to introduce myself. I'm here to fulfill a curiosity.
Alright. She regards you rather imperiously, awaiting any questions that you have. She sort of rips off a piece of the parchment, or the tapestry, and throws it at your feet and shows a cat that is being crushed by a rock.
Do I recognize this cat?
You get the feeling that she's saying, be careful, curiosity killed the cat.
Got it. Okay.
Do I see that?
Yeah, you can see the parchment being thrown at your feet.
When she rips something off of the tapestry, it becomes a static image. Is that what I'm understanding, Colin?
Yes, yes.
Understood.
Why, you thought it was going to be super straightforward answers?
No, usually isn't. I don't know how to progress. Oh, cool. This is your deity.
This is a god. You can ask it literally anything.
Yeah.
About yourself, about the places you come from, about your past, about your future.
Nick, I need a moment to think.
Okay. Well, I have a few major questions. I speak in Thrycreen for this. Why are so many having the same visions in the rituals as of late?
You can see her 4 human arms reach out and grasp the tapestry, and one of her mantis arm cuts a piece off as she throws it at the ground in front of you. You can see a Thrycreen hive, your Thrycreen hive, covered in snow and ice.
So I take it it's gonna get really bad where we actually are. Then thank you. What about my vision?
She pauses for a moment, thinks about what she wants to show you. She rips off a piece of the tapestry throwing it at your feet. You can see it had it's you were on it. But you can see her outline around you, and you can see instead of your eyes, it has her eyes on your body, and instead of just your arms, it has her arms on it as well. It's sort of information telling you that she needed someone to be both her eyes and her arms and her legs, and someone to see and act in a way she can't on the material plane. Directly, not just indirecting, sort of working and reading the Tapestry of Fate, but somewhere that can go and actually change it. That is what your vision was for her, and that's what you are to her. A tool. It's unkind to say it's a tool, but essentially you are. A tool since she can't be there to change it herself.
What do I need to do to stop the snow from coming to the hive?
This is where, the first thing she throws in front of you is something actually you're familiar with, something that you heard Madame Vestia talk about, one of the visions that the other Thri-Kreen saw. She throws what appears to be a golden dragon's eye on the ground in front of you. Then she throws a tapestry that shows a silver sapling bursting into flame that is sort of bright blue and growing into a great oak tree. She throws another tapestry. I don't know if you're writing this down or not. Tommy!
I'm not like.
You might want to take notes on this.
Oh, yes, my lord. I shall get the scribing materials.
It might be useful for everyone to write it down so I don't have to say it more than
4,000 times over the next 2 months.
yes.
Hang on, I'll write it down in the role-playing channel.
She is showing you the visions that she gave to the other Thri-Kreen.
So, is it the full vision or just the snapshot?
The visions themselves are snapshots. They were disjointed for them as well. But you'll have to talk to them to get more into that.
Yeah.
Alright. We got golden eye of some sort.
A golden dragon's eye.
A golden dragon's eye.
Is it just like? So does it look like the eyeball that has been taken out of a dragon, or the like a?
It looks like it's.
Of a dragon?
It looks like a zoom in of a dragon's eye. It doesn't look like it's been ripped out or anything like that.
Okay. Good.
Alright, so a golden dragon's eye, a silver sapling bursting into flame into an oak tree.
Yes. You see a, basically you see what appears to be a, there is a blue dragon that is sitting on a ruined hoard, and the ruined hoard, seems to extend out like roots from a tree and forming what appears to be a sort of web underneath it.
And without checking the encyclopedia, the blue dragon was the one in Beaz Kumahar, correct?
Yes, Ursula.
Okay.
Do I see this?
You're seeing all this as well.
Is Ursula a friend?
Do you ask that?
Yeah, I asked her that.
Zara would cackle at that idea.
I'm more mean and I'd say I'm mean in regards to the frost. And I imagine you know the red dragon is quite unlike a friend to us.
You see a pair of thrones, both made of one made of white marble and one made of black marble. The white marble throne glitters with silvery moonlight, and the black marble throne is covered in snow. You see a woman hunched over in pain, wearing tattered clothing. You see a great beast with its back covered in what appears to be foliage that is sinking into the ocean. And you see what appears to be a green dragon on the back of a massive horse.
I'm sorry?
Like, literally, it looks like there is a green dragon that is perched atop the back of a massive horse.
Out of character, I don't think that's the first time we've seen that image.
It's the first time I've seen that image.
Alright, what was the first part before green beast with foliage on its back? Okay, never mind. I think time we got it. Yep. Time we got it, never mind.
The last one
Cool.
comes with a flourish. She shows 7 silhouettes, essentially. They seem to be in a circular formation. Each of them sort of, well, initially it's hard to make out. It's almost like they slowly come more and more into focus. As you see, they are items or weapons of great power. You see what appears to be a staff that seems to be blooming at the top. You see a long, very thin sword. Its blade seems to undulate and change from one second to the next. You see what appear to be long, like wraps, some sort of ribbon that burns, essentially. You can see the faint flames going around it. You see a impossibly large scimitar, wickedly curved, that resembles a crescent moon, like a thick crescent moon, likely a two-handed scimitar, a great scimitar of some kind. You see what appears to be it's like a strange scourge, a whip. It is covered in what appears to be thorns that move up and down the length of it. You see what appears to be a blade, long and thin, that glitters green, as if there is effervescent sort of sparkles across it. And let's see. 6, what is the 7th one? Fucking notes. Fuck you, fucking notes. Give me a second. Let me find my notes. I forgot what the last one was.
A giant dildo.
It is Moby Huge, the massive dick.
Colin, that better be a weapon I can get in this game.
Alright,
Well,
you
Moby
find
Dick.
Moby Huge.
King of Creeping Frost ain't got nothing on Moby Huge.
True. Fuck yeah, Sea King.
Fucking creeping thoughts.
Holy shit.
Okay. The final weapon that you see actually appears to be a. It
Thanks,
looks
Arena.
like a. It looks like a small orb, that is sitting atop, like a jeweled dagger of some kind.
Like the pommel of a jeweled dagger?
Yes, yes. Although you get the feeling that the important part is the orb and not the dagger. So that is the 7 silhouettes on there that you see.
Delete that, Connor. God damn it. Fucking child.
Stop it, Connor. Stop it.
I'm gonna fucking tell your mom to go over there and beat you.
I'm gonna tell your mom to come over here and beat me. Alright.
Yes, Lou, I think that's the joke, Lou.
She's after that last one. She kind of sits there. She having said at least done what she needs to do, say what she needs to say. A glimpse, a hint. Visions that she herself has seen in the tapestry, a tapestry of things that have been and things that are and things that will be and things that may be.
And where should we go?
I thought we already did the Christmas Carol.
Well, that's sort of how fate
You're not
is.
here. I was quiet while you guys were doing shit.
That's how fate is, however. Like I said, she's showing what was and what is and what might be. And what will be. It's all a jumbled up mishmash mess that she can understand, but you can't. And she can't make you understand it either. But you ask her what, where to go next?
Yeah.
Her one single arm sort of reaches out and it points at the golden dragon's eye.
I'm gonna fucking beat this dog.
Your dog is a golden dragon. Yo, does Lou have lottery tickets?
I'm sure if you take your dog to the Golden Dragon, they'll eat the dog for you.
Did you win $1?
Let me tell you what I hate about.
Not these are $5 tickets.
Let me tell you what I hate about people that
Oh,
buy
you won
lottery
$1
tickets.
on a $5 ticket.
You just want to go in the gas station real fast, but the person that has a lottery ticket has to turn in their lottery tickets, then they use their lottery ticket winnings to buy more lottery tickets. And you're just standing behind them, be like, I just want to buy, like, a candy bar and some beer, please.
Right?
I want this Snickers and a soda.
Please,
Fuck off.
Like, I need gas and blunt wraps. Fuck off.
Yeah, please
keep it.
step to the side of the line and get your stupid lottery stuff later.
Let capitalism resume, bitch.
Let capitalism resume. Put that on a goddamn t-shirt. I love it.
Alright, but
Anyway.
she points to the golden dragon's eye.
Oh,
A place to start. Likely the thing you're closest to.
Just to confirm, Are you saying a golden dragon's eye or the eye of a golden?
The eye of a golden dragon.
Can
Looking at it, you can tell it's an ancient golden dragon because it doesn't have a pupil. It is just molten gold, essentially. Because dragons lose their pupils.
So I'm gonna shit in your food bowl.
That'll show them.
I will lean over to Alakul and ask if he is done.
For now, yeah, I think we should go.
By all means, go. Anyway,
Is there anything else you would like to ask before we leave?
oh, there's loads, but I need to think of.
Is there anything else you're going to ask?
I'll ask the Mantis Queen if I can escape her.
I assume what you mean by
Yes.
her is your previous employer.
That's a word for it. Colin just single-handedly set race relations back about a couple hundred years with that.
What was it, the prisoners with jobs thing from Ragnarok?
No, hang on. If I could retcon that.
Okay.
How can I escape her?
She rips off a piece of the tapestry, and you see, throws it at your feet, and you can see what appears to be a mound of treasure that is on fire. And at the top of this mound of treasure is a massive sapphire that is also being burned.
Okay.
It's cryptic. That's what gods do.
Yeah, no, I'm kind of tracking it. You said a massive sapphire.
Yes. Huge sapphire.
Tommy, are you taking notes for me as well, or do I need to be writing this down? I don't mind. Just asking.
Let's put it this way. Are you gonna tell me what you see later on?
Good point. Okay.
Yep.
Good.
If we want to play it like that, because I feel like the other stuff's irrelevant to everyone, but that
Yeah, the
isn't
other stuff is
necessarily-
going to be passed along to everybody.
Cool can pass my stuff along. He's sitting right here.
I mean, yeah, but I don't know what that fucking means.
Buddy, I don't know what that means. And now we once again play the game of, is Lou scratching lottery tickets, or is Lou jacking off?
Is that why it's like such a little hand motion?
Anyway, do
Is the baby here? Oh, you get a reprieve to think for a second. I think the baby might be here. Have you had you've had a moment to think?
Yep.
Is it time to retreat? You know that the longer you stay here, the more powerful spirits are going to be pulled to your body.
What if I don't want to kill her?
What if you don't want to kill her?
No, I'm asking the Mantis Queen that question.
She points, reaches her, one of her strangely humanoid hands down. She points at the burning treasure hoard.
I don't know if that's possible for me to do.
It might not be. But that is the answer you're given.
Okay. Do I have to... Do I have to go back to do that?
She rips
I'm
off
trying not to...
a
How do I request?
she rips off another piece of a tapestry. This time, it shows Holy Man, clad in robes of blue. He stands atop a hill, a lonely hill by himself, while a woman with dark skin, clad in armor of gold and silver, leads what appears to be the bishop's or the holy man's followers away from him.
Right. Okay. I think I'm tracking what that means. I will look at Alakul and say, I can go now.
Okay.
Alright. You've been given answers. What they mean you're unsure of. Such is the nature of fate, prophecy. But they are absolute, and there are hints that the Mantis Queen has given you. So they should be useful, if you think about them. And you put those hints together with a bunch of the other hints that have been handed out past here. You
Just file it under never gonna think about it again.
yeah, they who remembers the captain from Ertzig and the task you were given? Nobody? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Where you
We
have
were
to-
gonna go to the town to north of the lake to give them a pauldron.
Who remembers who remembers the town's name?
I don't
Weitdorf?
remember town names.
Nope.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't
like
Weitdorf?
Nope. Little town called
It was
Feist.
Weitdorf.
I remember, yeah, I was gonna say Frost.
It is close to Faust.
I also was thinking Faust.
But you,
Weitdorf was that one.
there's a pause, and rather hurriedly, Alec Cool, there's a tapestry that is thrown at your feet. It shows what appears to be a, and it's thrown at both you and Zara's feet. It shows a person that is like a golden aura, and there is a line extending from the solar plexus of this person. And you can see it looks like there is a pair of shears about to cut through the line.
My whole ass.
Probably a
I
wise
actually-
choice. That is a pretty clear indication of what is happening.
I'm going to, one second. Ziggy, you're in the fucking way!
I'm gonna scoop up the tapestry I was given before I leave.
Where is it? Look. I cast Longstrider on me and Connor.
Alright. The message is clear. Your bridge back potentially about to be severed. As you immediately turn and begin sprinting back down the way you came through the hive, passing away from the Mantis Queen in her great central chamber, leaving the impossible silken tapestry and the impossible colored threads behind. You can see the walls seem to close in around you, filled with mist that takes vaguely humanoid forms, following along with you. As you realize they're rushing alongside you, hoping to get to Madame Vestia so that they can latch on to her, basically the connection that brings you here so that they can be pulled away back into the material plane. Go ahead and give me you know what? This is the good opportunity for a chase, but in reverse, where you are the chasees instead of being chased. Let me go ahead and that. Bring out some token. That would be cool. Laura. It will be just some work. Alright, go ahead and give me an initiative roll. If you open up the encounter thing I've already added you just have to click the dice. Oh. So you go first. Alright. You find yourself rushing through the corridors as fast as you can, mist coalescing around you, as you get the feeling that things are right on your heels, trying to follow you back to your tether, back to the material plane. Alec, cool. Go ahead and roll me a D20. How'd it go? Ooh, not good. You find yourself basically in a centralized sort of crossroads that you're not 100% sure of where you came from. From this tunnel, it branches out into 5 different directions. How would you like to try to find your way back? It is a lot like the chases we ran last night in Savage Worlds. You're thinking of a way to overcome an obstacle, essentially.
My perception to try and identify like a markings or something in the tunnel, like
sure.
Seem more familiar.
All right. 23. Alright, so that is perception. Next off the list of skills. My fucking notebook. Fuck it. Alright. You can see there is a, this place looks like it was mostly deserted. There's dust over everything, except you can see a pretty reasonable trail that has been disturbed, where it's likely if you came from, as you turn to the third most right tunnel and continue rushing onwards. Zara, roll a d20.
What is going on? 8.
Alright. Dang. As you continue through this winding tunnel back the way you came, all of a sudden, impossibly strong silk threads that were threading to the central chamber, you turn a corner and almost immediately slam into what appears to be a web of them that have basically gone through here that previously were not here, that are currently this web of it forming what appears to be, I mean, a web across the basically a web across the hallway, essentially.
It's like a wall, kind of.
Yes, a porous wall. Obviously, it's something you can crawl through, but it's slowing you down. How would you like to get through it? Perception has already been used. Who thought 2.5 men was a good idea?
Charlie Sheen.
No,
I can almost you. Charlie Sheen was not among them.
the fucking writer.
Well, he isn't anymore.
No, he also had nothing to do with the creation of the show. He just acted in it.
I'll take my. How do I say it? Jumbia.
Yep, John Bia. John Bia.
And, I guess I will try to slash open the web.
Alright, make an attack roll. The Dusk John Bia. Unfortunately, your hands are, you're unable to break through the impossibly strong silk. And you hear the sounds of the pursuers getting closer behind you down the tunnel. Alec, cool. There is a web of silk in front of you. Unfortunately, cutting through it failed to work. You think Jon Snow eats Rose Leslie's ass?
One can only.
Absolutely.
I would hope so.
I use Ziggy blindly.
He'd ask why would he do that?
You
And she'd say
could-
you know nothing.
Try to acrobatics to squeeze through, investigation to find a suitable way through.
I use poison spray, and I'm gonna try and melt some of it.
Okay. What is poison spray? That's a spell?
It's a saving throw.
Saving throw?
Or it's a cantrip.
What's the saving throw?
DC 16 Constitution.
Right? Actually, automatically fails dexterity saving throws, but it's Constitution. There's a chance it can pass. But it doesn't. As you begin using poison spray, and it doesn't completely melt the web away, but it does open up a hole in it, enough that you can pretty easily move through without having to squeeze or anything, as both you and Zara leap through it. But you can hear what's you can see now all around you after having been sort of delayed by this web. The vaguely smoke-like humanoid forms that were coalescing are now a lot more solid, a lot closer around you. As it goes to them to roll a complication. Alright. As you continue rushing through this tunnel, you know that you are close. No more than maybe a couple turns away. But upon making a final bend around the corner, or a final turn around the bend, you can actually see Madame Vestia still, her spirit still there, impossibly stretched between this plane and the material plane. There is a wall of these vaguely smoke-like humanoids blocking your way. Basically, almost like a crowd of them that are trying to push towards her.
Are they saying anything?
They say nothing. You hear nothing.
Whose turn is it?
Either one of you at this point, because this happened on the enemy's turn. That was just their complication.
Oh.
Can I invoke duplicity to summon my clone 30 feet ahead of us
Sure.
and start having it, like, I guess, try and wake her up?
She's not she's not unconscious per se. He's just
We just have to get past these.
you have to
dudes.
get past the group of people that are between you and her.
Oh, okay. In that case, can I have my duplicate cast Spirit Guardians and have the Guardians kind of clear a path for us? Or is that too much?
Sure. You bring your spirit guardian forward. Like I said, if you want to expend the resources, that's what encounters are for, is expending resources. You summon a form of yourself, sort of vaguely close to this mask, and all of a sudden it bursts forth in a flurry of spiritual weapons and guardians. As surprisingly enough, they almost work like bouncers or riot police clearing out a crowd, essentially. As they are able to fully interact with these relatively somewhat tangible people, as if they were fully tangible, and push them to the side, clearing a final path for you to rush through them. Squeezing through them, the two of you manage to make your way to Madame Vestia, each of you grabbing onto her hands, and almost immediately, as soon as both of your hands make contact, you feel yourself yanked upwards, following the golden strand that extends from her back to the mantis claw. Sort of enveloped by blackness, with the occasional, what appears to be other realm that flies past you, just brief glimpses of them. However, Zara and Alec Cole, as you look down as you're flying, you can see there is one of these spirits that is grasped to Madame Vestia's, basically her ankle, as it's being yanked up there with you. You feel...
I'm sorry. She's grabbing us?
No. She grabbed you and pulled you away. There is something grabbing her ankle that has followed behind with you.
Oh.
You feel the air whooshing around you, as you try to breathe, but you feel pressure all around your body, as if you're in some sort of terrible vice, as you watch this terrible blackness, flying, with the occasional spot of, or the occasional glimpse of another realm shooting past. You see, a massive forest for just a second, and it shoots past. You see what appears to be a great lake of lava, and it shoots past. You see an impossibly large mountain with a ring above it, and it shoots past, and all of a sudden you feel yourself slamming down into your bodies with a terrible thud as you sort of bounce up into the ground, as you find yourself back in the fortune teller's hut. See, no, I don't want to fucking see. Let's see. Alright, as you find yourself back, your eye in the fortune teller's hut, your eyes sort of fluttering open slowly. You see the garishly colored tent above you. No longer is it twilight, it's now dark outside, but the room is illuminated by several small lamps and the burning of the sort of oven, as well as purple light streaming in from the room outside. Up this, down this. Alright. You see Madame Vestia slowly sit up, rubbing her head. Her eyes, whenever you look at them, you see a little bit to your shock, it's like she's busted blood vessels in both of her eyes as they are red. And you can see you can see blood starting to trickle down her nose, as the exertion of yanking you back has taken a terrible toll on her.
I use, well, I want to bring up a character sheet. I
And
use a healing spell on her.
everybody else, you hear the stirring of people moving in the back room as you go, and you can see that Siegfried heads back, says, "Ah, they are awake."
Well, it's about time. There's a couple of complications with some of your statues.
I'm just gonna. I'm gonna keep a lookout right here. I'm watching.
Not a bad idea.
Yes, you also happen to be short one divination orb now, unfortunately.
Okay. She looks, Madame Vestia kind of looks at you a little bit dazed. It always be replaced. She sort of slowly puts her head over the edge of the bed and rises to her feet and stretches, and there's like a terrible like cracking sound as all of her joints seem to pop and her neck pops, as if she's been laying there not for a couple of hours but for a couple of weeks, it almost feels like. She seems weakened and sunken in slightly. Her face gaunt, like I said, her eyes basically red from where vessels have burst. This took a large, terrible toll on her. She hands the mantis claw back to you. Cool. Says, I don't think I
Thank
want
you.
to do that again.
I don't blame you. That was a little risky, but I greatly appreciate it.
Eckhart, roll a perception check.
Do you remember anything?
17.
You feel a cold wind on your back. A sudden chill, essentially. Sort of blows over you like an icy cold wind from the north. Then it returns back to normal.
Okay. Now, the way I'm facing is my back towards the room?
Your
or
back is
this?
towards them. Yeah, it's back towards them. Since you were keeping an eye out down here.
Gotcha. Icy wind. Shit. Okay.
And yes, you do remember everything. It feels a bit hazy, but what the tapestries in your mind are very clear.
Okay. Shit. So it was just cold for a second. Went away. That's it.
Yes, that's what you felt.
Okay. Did it feel like a big burst of cold, and does it look like anybody else felt cold?
It doesn't look like it does not look like anyone felt it.
Weird.
So one of those shadows attached to you as we came back.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure to watch, like, these three specifically, I think.
You said the shadow came back with you?
They were like shadowy figures. I don't believe they're actual shadows. I don't quite know what they were.
One did
Does
ride
she-
the way back with you.
Does she seem different?
Seems tired.
Or like, other than tired?
You can roll an insight
Sorry.
check.
Sorry about that.
So did Klaus's buddy just turn up this one game, Colin? Or has he been here for a while?
He
He showed
Last
up,
session.
he showed up last session.
shut up last session because they had feelers out, but Klaus is only now getting close enough that he'd be noticed by them.
Okay. I'll keep an eye on the new guy too. Because I can't locate the source or whatever it was. But
He's a
new.
He's a handsome fellow. He wears dark clothing and a wide-brimmed hat that has a veil that goes over his face, although the veil is turned back. He has a very prominent bloodstone brooch on his chest as well.
Mm.
And he's quiet, perhaps even a little bit standoffish. As he watches the group, you can see he probably stays pretty close to Klaus as well.
That's fair.
They're not like jerking each other off yet, but he, as being the person
There's
that
a
he
time and a
knows,
place for everything.
this tent is not for it. But as the person that he knows, he's staying close to Klaus. But you're, Alec Cooley, she doesn't seem any different. She just seems tired. Drained. Exhausted. Probably understandably.
Need some soup.
She needs some soup?
Well, there's absolutely going to be something from that shadow. We need to figure out where it is.
Well, there's something in here with us, at least.
It's unfortunate that we destroyed the divination orb.
Madam,
We could have used that.
do you feel any different other than being, I'm assuming, quite tired?
She says, well, I can consult some of my instruments to see if there's anything. As she walks out and sees the orb is destroyed, her Taroka cards are in disarray, she sort of pauses. Oh my.
Yeah, I got a little hectic in here.
Suppose,
Did some of those did you know that some of those statues could come to life like that?
I certainly did not, although I suppose I didn't know that I could travel to the realm of a god before either, so who knows.
I asked earlier if she remembered anything. Did she answer?
Yes, she remembers everything, and you do as well. However, she herself was stationary in place, so she didn't really see anything. She goes to the astrolabe, begins consulting it. She looks a little bit confused. The stars on this astrolabe are not aligned correct.
May I see?
Sure, you can even use your cartographer's tools check instead of an arcana check. or a nature check.
Tools, cartographical tools check. It gives me the option for an ability modifier. What ability modifier would that be?
This is a this one here is
Wisdom?
a wisdom hit.
$16.
Indeed, some of the stars. It is wrong. Some of the stars are missing. Some of them are blacked out. As you sort of look around, faintly, you realize there is literally an entire constellation that is missing from the astrolabe.
Do I know which one?
You do. Ooh. It is that of the Withered Champion.
I pointed out to her. The withered champion is just gone.
She sort of nods her head a little bit worriedly, and that shouldn't happen. This is a magical instrument. It can't be altered or destroyed or anything like that. I don't understand. Now,
Is the instrument a direct representation of what the stars are at any given time?
no, it's more of just a projection in a sense. It allows me to read, and I can turn it to different days and different moments of the year, even in the past and
Where's it turned to right now?
currently turned to today. As you can see, as she sort of spins some of the rings, she advances a day forward, and the stars change ever so slightly, but there's a hole for the Withered Championship.
What about in the past?
As she moves it backwards, yes, it still remains gone in the past as well. Curious.
What time of day is it?
By this point, it would be night.
Do I see that constellation outside?
As you stick your head out,
I helped point it out.
yeah, make a nature check with advantage.
Ten.
It's, as far as you can tell, it's up there in the sky. The actual sky, it's only on the astrolabe that it's gone.
I'm assuming I also see it since I helped point it out.
Yes. You also see it as
okay.
well. It's only on the astrolabe that it's gone.
I think your instrument is malfunctioning.
I suppose that's possible. But she does not sound convinced by that.
I'm also not convinced by that. What can you tell me about the Withered Champion? I just know that's its name. I don't really know any meaning behind them.
You can roll a history check if you want, but she can tell you, it's fine.
I would just have her tell me. I probably wouldn't know.
The Withered Champion is named after a man who was a powerful fighter made lame during a fight. Terrible battle that basically caused him lose a large portion of his mobility. Unable to walk and frail of leg, he grew stronger by his wit and by his arm. He learned how to wield the sword, became a formidable fighter in his own right despite his handicap.
Hmm.
It's a story about someone who was who had bad legs but strong arm.
Great.
Never skip leg day.
Okay.
Fucking wheelchair heroes over here.
While they're doing that, would it be like if I were to try to sense whatever this like weird icy cold feeling came from, if it's like a creature or something, would it just be like perception? Or is that more like
Well, the perception check lets you feel it at all. If you want to
Okay.
investigate, you can roll investigation.
okay,
that.
that's okay. I'm gonna guess second level enhance ability on myself to try to look for it. I'm gonna give myself Fox's cunning, so I have advantage on intelligence checks, which because I'm not very good at them. Not very good. 12.
You move around the tent, and fortunately, you don't really see anything. You pay a lot of attention to the statues, worried that they might come to life, but none of them moves, and you, whenever you sort of move them, they're all rock solid and sturdy.
I still have my piece of tapestry that I picked up.
The tapestry, unfortunately, did not go with you.
Okay.
Nothing from that plane can travel back with your spirit form, your actual body.
Hmm.
I mean, it's weird, but inspecting the tent, you don't see anything.
That's fair.
I am number 4. You know what that is? National Treasure, a good movie.
Really don't, I don't know.
Might be something. I mean, there at some point, there's not a lot you can do immediately. You've inspected your roads. You don't see anything amiss, besides the astrolabe missing a constellation. Whether that means the astrolabe's faulty or something has happened, you're not sure. There's nothing that's jumping out to attack you, or anything like that. The only weird other thing is that Eckhart felt a cold wind pass over him, but that was fleeting. It was gone.
Well, Madam Vestia, I'm assuming that you'd be able to tell me something about my cup of tea shattering, since that's much more minor in my eyes, but that really startled the innkeeper.
Nari to exit and go back to the inn.
I would like to go back to the inn and go to sleep. If
He says, well, they are a superstitious lot. You trip and stub a toe. They're worried that it's witches that have cast a curse on you. Some of them can be a little bit ridiculous in their beliefs. Sometimes cups shatter and sometimes toes get stubbed and sometimes you buy bad eggs. That's just the way it works out sometimes. Stand.
I do, I figured as much, but
If I remember correctly, I believe the innkeeper has lived here for pretty much an entire life. You don't live here that long without picking up a couple of very strange superstitions.
how do you feel about the touching of the door? Or the threshold?
I feel like it can't hurt to do, but it probably makes no real difference. Still, who wants to tempt fate, right?
I feel like I tempt fate for a living.
I worry if you tempt fate too much, it won't be a very long living.
You'd be surprised. I figured I'd be dead by now. Do you know where I might find the other Thrycreen?
The last one left about a week ago. No, he was following the Emperor's march. Heading towards the capital.
Were they on foot?
Yes, unfortunately. He even sold his horse to pay for my services.
Oh boy, poor guy.
He had to sell his iPhone and his Apple iWatch to pay for me.
Dang.
He's a Thrycreen. He has 4 of them.
4 eye watches.
4 iWatches.
Think of the steps that you'll take.
Well, how...
I believe he even sold a pair of very exotic weapons to a local weaponsmith.
Oh.
Strange sort of daggers bound in twine that ran across the back. Those are Thrycreen double daggers. They're very small knives. They're connected by like a leather thong, and it's usually run sort of oddly enough around the back and given enough slack that they you can stab, but they are also sort of weirdly braced in place. It's a very odd design, and they can also be technically swung around like a flail in times where a little bit more range is wanted.
Pretty dope. Are those the small hand daggers?
Yes, those are the exotic weapons for Thrycreens, essentially, from Beaz Kumlahar. But she says he sold them to a weaponsmith, and while they are not of particularly incredible make, we don't see much of them around here, so weaponsmith did pay a pretty fair amount of coin for it. I'd say he spent about 30 gold pieces for them. That's high for non-magical, just...
For a regular ass dagger?
Basically, yes. That's a lot of money for a regular dagger, but they're very exotic and sort of interesting around here. A novelty.
Yep. Well, I might be back in the morning, but I think I'm gonna go, take some rest.
I can hardly blame for you for that.
And
If she had an accent, I have already forgotten it.
Colin, I'm pretty sure you've been doing mostly the same accent for her the whole time. Either that or she was like Russian.
It's very possible she used to be Russian.
It's been a week, I forget. I'll pull out... First, before I go to the end, I'm gonna go to the cabin where I have the map table, and I'm gonna see about how far in the Emperor's March I think he could have gotten in a week's travel.
Alright, what's everyone else doing?
I'm sending a message to my new friend Rena.
Rena Steenbrenner?
I don't remember her last name. I don't know if that was ever given to us.
I don't think it was.
No.
Also, wasn't it Reyna?
No, Rena.
It was Rena.
It was Rena.
Okay, it was Reyna.
Yep.
What about Reva Steenkamp?
Reba McIntyre?
No.
No.
It's funny because Reva Steenkamp got her ass blasted away through the... It's sad. I would say she got killed through the door of a bathroom as Oscar Pistorius killed her. What, you don't keep up with South African politics or entertainment news?
Not really, no.
Keep up with news he can understand.
I barely keep up with any news.
Anyway, Yeah, no, I wanna send a message to Rena.
Rena. Sad storm.
I'm gonna go AFK and try and get Ziggy to fucking go poop so she stops fucking bothering me.
Okay. What are you sending the message to? He's on a different plane now, so yes, it has to be a message, not just like a sending thing.
It says sending works to another plane.
Well, I'm not the cantrip, the 3rd level spell.
Yeah, no, I'm using sending. And I wanna ask her if I had it in my head now and I forgot it. I want to ask her if she knows how, or if she has learned how to deal with those people in her life. If she has learned how to deal with those people that were problematic.
All right, roll a d20. On a 1, it does fail. The 5% chance that it doesn't make it. All right, so it's fine. As you're sort of walking out of the tent, sending her a message, asking her if she's been able to kill those people that had her. He says, you get a message sent back that's not really trying to befriend some and ignore others.
I will. I can't remember. Can I respond?
You can only send and get a response.
You can
have
send and
to
you
cast
get
it
a
again.
response. You'd have to cast it again.
Okay.
You know, it's only been a week, so it's not like that is gonna get fixed in a week.
Could I add on to that question if she has a way to initiate that conversation, or if it has to be me?
She
Basically, I'm asking, can she communicate with me, or do I have to communicate with her?
look at something.
Just imagine she's me. If you don't reach out to her, she ain't gonna say shit.
Spell list.
She has ways of initiating conversation with.
Okay, cool.
Not necessarily through spells cast, but being of a fairly wealthy and prominent family, she can get in touch with people across different planes.
And I have a follow-up question about the spell sending.
Okay.
It says...
Is it a metaphor? Well, yes and no.
It says, you send a short message of 25 words or less to a creature with which you are familiar. The creature hears the message in its mind, recognizes you as the sender if it knows you, and can answer in a like manner immediately. It doesn't say anything about how the spell, or how the message is conveyed. Do I speak out loud, or is it in my brain?
It's in your brain.
Then I need Nick to come back.
So are you going to lay in your bunk bed and sext a storm giant with sending?
No.
Hell yeah.
But I'm
fucking disappointed. All right, pee break. I'll be right back. All right, we'll just wait for a moment for arrival, for Nick's arrival, for Zara to do whatever she was to do. But the point is,
I'll do it without Nick, it's fine.
you all kind of, you all end up sort of coalescing, or sort of all going back to the inn. Each of you walking inside, and you reach up and you touch the door frame as you walk through.
Hey, Colin, was this lady gonna let me stay here with her?
She would rather be alone and rest.
What if I think she's in danger?
You can lurk around outside.
Okay.
Creepy like.
I will. Yep, I'll try to lurk with my giant hulking form and lack of stealth.
She is a very attractive person. You did see her picture.
Wow.
He looks like Ava Green from Kingdom of Heaven, so.
Okay.
That's her
Well, the rest
picture
of
is
them can go
literally
back.
Ava Green, essentially.
Yeah. Well, the rest of them can go back, and I'm gonna keep an eye on the place.
Alright. You'll be posted up outside. Everybody else is gonna be inside here off the map and drag them on.
Nice. I would like to cast Sending again.
Right.
But the reason that I asked about this was I need a private room.
Okay, give me just a second.
Nah, just leave him there. Never show up.
Outside, but I
Private room with Colin.
wishes. My wiener is tiny and it like a fun-sized candy bar in his mouth.
Wait till he
Alright.
comes back again and join the channel, and then.
To Ito's wine cellar.
Okay, so I was gonna send a message to Ursula, but if it takes place in my head, But if I do it in a private room with you, then they have no reason to like. I'm trying to put Zara's character into the party's like scope, and I can't think of how to do it.
Hey, what are you trying to do? You trying to send a message? Trying to get him to understand your past? You trying to?
I was gonna try and send a message to Ursula, not quite like taunting her, but kind of like saying, you know, like the bad ex that you shouldn't call on the phone, but you do anyway. That's kind of what I'm trying to. But if that takes place in my head, I don't know how to do that.
You can, like, do you want them to know it?
Yeah, because I want.
You don't have to. You don't have to do it strictly in your head. You can say it out loud, but you receive it in your head. You can still say it out loud while you're saying it in your head.
Okay.
The thing is, they're not going to have any clue what the fuck you're talking about. They don't know anything about Ursula at all, except for what they've said.
I'm trying to put Zara's character in their scope so that they can, because the thing that's driving me nuts right now is I feel like I was playing Ito, and now I feel like I'm just kind of riding along in the campaign, and I don't know how to.
Well,
go ahead.
One place to start is they can, upon telling them what you saw, you can tell them about your backstory, because none of them have any clue about any of it. You're just some random tag-along right now.
Yeah.
Or they have no clue how this relates to you at all. They can talk about it, and then they can ask you, because then from there, they don't know about the Bishop Usul, they don't know about Ursula, they don't know about the Dragon's Horde, or her Horde, that exists as basically the central vault. They don't know about the monks that live in the sewers. They don't know any of that. You do.
I'm trying to figure out a way to make that information come to light without me just like standing on a pedestal and say, "Okay, guys, it's time to meet Zara."
Well, I mean, you might have to. Because you might have, like, especially because Alec Cool saw them, he saw the tapestries given to you. But while he might not know what that means, it means something.
That's true. Okay. Okay.
But you might kind of have to get on that pedestal. Like, we've been traveling together for a month and a half now, so.
I was actually gonna say that I think Zara's spirit guardians would be Ursula, maybe in like humanoid form, but I couldn't think of how to say that without just saying those words. So
Ursula, in her humanoid form, is a elderly male bishop.
She
is the bishop.
Okay.
That is her That's the humanoid form she takes. As the theocratic leader of the holy city of Parzula, which she exploits to her benefit to continue adding to her dragon horde, which is the central vault of a bank. So literally the bank is her main horde, as well as all the counting houses too. That's all her horde.
Yeah, I remember that. Okay, I forgot that the bishop was her. Thought he was a peon.
No, she is him. They're the same. Obviously, as a dragon, she can take any polymorph form she wants, and which just happens to be, even though she is female, she takes a male.
Give me 1 second. You can go back.
Okay. Let me go back. Discord, wake up and put it in your butt.
No, we're not dead yet, luckily. I think I want the Bear King to beat Ito and make him his wife, though.
Alright.
Yes.
You continue skulking around outside. Go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Listen. 15. That's
Moderately stealthy.
Mhm.
Joke's on you. You had to roll a 78.
Shit!
Pretty stealthy. Like I said, it's nighttime. It's dark outside, all except for the occasional torchlight. Eckhart, you're outside. Or perception check.
One of my many known talents that I do not possess. 9.
Okay.
Average.
Oh wait, I was saying, do you even have dark vision?
I do have dark
Okay,
vision.
so you
that's
don't
a
have
half
any.
orc.
You don't have any dis. But you don't. Thing you can see it's lit. It's dimly lit within her tent. You see no movement, no silhouette. It's likely that Madame Bestia, exhausted, dead.
That's fair.
But you can't shake the feeling that something is not right. Wrong. Cold wind, the missing stars on the astrolabe. Strange. Curious. Clearly something is wrong, and there's some sort of mechanic here. Devised arbitrarily by some all-seeing dungeon master.
Shit,
Only.
we're in the Truman Show, guys.
If I get a natural 20 on intelligence, can I see you in the sky rolling dice?
I will give you one investigation check.
Oh wow.
Oh. In fact, I'll give
You don't get an
Okay.
investigation.
I'll give everyone who is here one investigation check.
Do you see the Nutcracker in the sky?
This is because you're all walking to the end, so you're outside, and you have to be outside to make this check. But passing between it,
Oh.
you are able.
Damn.
You are at least able to briefly walk around the town. So I'll allow everyone who's walking around to have an investigation check.
Fucking Christ almighty, though. 23, dude. Forget it.
All right.
Does what's his name get one? Ziggy?
He's not. I said everyone here. He's not. All right, Klaus. You're the only one that passed your investigation check. Walking
Alright,
through
guys.
the town back to the inn, you can see as you look up towards the sky, there are a few stars that are glowing far brighter than the rest. Specifically, the stars of the Withered Champion are glowing very bright in the night sky, brighter than you are used to. And you can see, it almost looks like there is, like, the light from it is coalescing around different parts of the town. There are specifically 5 stars in the Withered Champion. One is, you can see the light. With your roll, you don't see where all of them go, but you do see one is coalescing on the inn, one is coalescing on Madame Vestia's tent, one is coalescing on the airship. What does that mean? Don't fucking know. But there's something fucky going on in this town.
So it's like starlight's kind of like beaming down or something.
Yes, very, very faint. Almost imperceptible. But you do manage to see the stars, and you see how they're moving. You see how they're assembling around the town. Something is going on with this town. Something's going on with that astrolabe and this town spirit that Eckhart was talking about. You're not 100% sure what, but it gives you a bad feeling.
Okay. Alright, I got them written down.
But that's all you had to see.
Alright, cool.
At the bottom, and when he was grilling, the dog would go and stick his head into the thing to lick and lap at the hot, like burning hot grease.
All right. So you all now that Nick's back, Connor, if you had something Zara wanted to say out of cool, can.
Cool. My bug man. My main man with the arms.
Yep.
Zara does not talk like that. Cool. Have you been to Parzula?
Have I?
Like in
Have you? It is in Beaz Kumlahar.
Uh,
It is, in fact, it's the largest city in the center of trade in Parzula, called the Shining Gem.
I'm pretty sure we established that I have not.
It's very possible that you did not. If you went from your
I might
hive
have-
to exploring,
Yeah, I might have passed by it, but
you definitely
I
would have
didn't
heard of
ever
it. You
outside.
might not necessarily have been there. Like I said, your hive is the hive. All the Thrycreen hives are very separate and pretty far removed from Parzula. They don't. It's not that they won't interact with them, but they kind of prefer a little bit more isolation from like the big city.
well, why do you ask?
I was just wondering if you've been there, then you might be able to have answered a question for me.
Oh.
But
I mean, was doing a little research into it because the short one.
Reed, if
trying
you're
to
standing
learn
there,
about
I'm not like whispering.
See, I can't respect National Treasure because I've seen Harvey Keitel's.
What the hell?
Who?
Really, how his last name's pronounced?
Yeah, Harvey Keitel.
No,
But
Nicolas
also,
Cage.
who hasn't seen Harvey Keitel's?
I mean, technically everybody. So
I'm glad to say I haven't.
you should spend more time watching movies.
I literally Googling his penis right now.
I bet if I go on Celeb NSFW on Reddit, I will be able to look up Harvey Keitel's dick.
One of the best and worst subreddits for that reason.
That's the thing.
And then I can say, Harvey Keitel's got more money and more. Everybody does. But the point is... Alec Cool.
Yes.
Join me in Alec Cool's anthill.
Oh boy,
Everybody
here's
get
my
In
That's
fact, Zara can also go there real fast.
Oh, bullshit.
About Reed. What about Reed?
Where the fuck did Reed go?
Reed. This is something that happened earlier. This is something that you may have noticed that it was brought to my attention by. Give me a religion check with advantage.
Who?
You, Alec.
God dang it, Ziggy, it's hard to see.
Don't fuck up. Don't fuck up.
Religion with advantage.
Religion.
This is something you potentially, since it's such a prominent figure, you very likely would have come across it. A 14?
I got a 14, yeah.
Zara's spirit guardians took on the figure of what appeared to be, they weren't just sort of smoky figures or poorly shaped figures. They took on a very specific form. They were, appeared to be wearing blue sort of scaled blue robes. Those that are the blue robes of members within the Holy Order, basically the theocracy of the Holy City of Parzula. So they were very specifically, essentially, well, you're not sure if they were specific figures with that role. They were very clearly someone that was associated with the religious. I mean, it's basically a theocracy. Parzula. They were members of that.
Okay.
Every last one of them.
Yeah, I have a picture. I just need to find it.
Oh, Ziggy.
But you definitely saw that, and that is very distinct blue robes. Scaled blue robes, essentially.
Okay.
They resemble, like I said, they're clerics, so they wear armor, essentially, and it's basically blue scale mail robes.
Okay.
They look neat. They wield, morning stars, but they don't have the ball on the end. They almost look like bats that have had nails driven through them, essentially, at the top.
Nice.
I was trying to find a picture of a Tuareg elder, but I can't, because that's how I was picturing it. But like a combination of like an armored Tuareg.
There's a lot of story stuff coming out over the past 2 weeks, so. But that is what you saw.
Okay.
Before we go back, is there anything else that happened down in the hive that Alec Cool might have noticed?
Actually, since we're being given this kind of second opportunity, can I ask another question of the Mantis Queen?
I will allow it since there was so much time that you could have. But do not ask a third question. You will get one question.
Yeah, thanks. If I come back, will things be different? This is when she fucking gives me the picture she already gave me.
She gives you a picture of a desert cactus that's small, but it grows into a great towering behemoth that has beautiful pinkish blooms across it. But at the same time, blooms shrink, shrivel, cactus dies. In its place, another small cactus grows, and it grows into a mighty behemoth with all sorts of beautiful blooms that in turn dies, and so the cycle begins again. things change. They always change. It will change. Go back. It will change if you don't. It's just the way things work. But it also shows that, I mean, these cactuses are growing wild out in the desert. Sometimes the careful hands of a gardener, someone who cultivates, grows things, pushes them the way they want to. Sometimes that can make all the difference. That is what she shows you.
Okay.
I don't know if that means anything to you.
That's it. That would be my last question.
Okay. I only get one extra. Alright, that's good enough. We will...
Was there anything else that I needed that I would have noticed, Connor? Or was it just that?
I was speaking common for all of my questions, so you would have heard those questions.
And seen all the tapestries given to you.
If shit don't make sense, you can talk to Zara about it.
Well,
Okay.
we'll all have a chance to convene in the inn eventually. And talk over what you saw, because it's the type of thing that will probably...
1 sec. I think Rick might have just hurt himself in the kitchen. I'll be right back.
My god, he threw up the rice
I
maker.
don't know.
Alright, but everyone can go back to the main thing. Rick killed himself with an with a rice maker, so Nick will be back in a second.
Just because Rick hurt himself doesn't mean the rice cooker is damaged, Colin.
Rick is the rice cooker. Joke's on you. But
What are you saying, Tommy?
GMC Fausto is a modern day Mozart.
you all
What are
head
you
back.
saying?
You all head back to the inn. That's the important thing. You all get a chance to sort of, you can see as you walk inside, you each reach up and you touch the top mantle and the sign of good luck. The innkeeper is actually not really anywhere to be seen. It looks like it's pretty packed in here. You can't pick out a singular person, really. It's just a mass of bodies, many of them enjoying various ales and beers, and sitting down to large plates filled with what appears to be roasted meat. I will be right back. I hear you calling me. You all...
Yeah, I'd like to point the 3 beams of light to them.
Yes, and Alec,
The
cool, you were
light
going
is-
back to the ship for something, right? Alright. You all
Okay.
reconvene at the inn.
He's saving Rick.
Probably dead already. You all reconvene at the inn.
I'm sorry. My push to talk was not pressed. I am back. Rick is fine.
Okay.
I mean, he's alive. I wouldn't call him fine.
He accidentally dumped 8 cloves of garlic he just chopped up onto the floor. But he was
Gotcha.
just
That's
he was just
okay.
upset.
It adds more
Not bad.
flavoring, not less.
Oh god.
You wanted to do something at the ship first, right?
Yeah, I wanted to. If I can do this not at the ship, I don't have to be at the ship. But if I just want to figure out with a map, probably about how long he would have traveled, since I know it was.
Oh yeah,
be
you
on the
can
Emperor's
do
March.
that with on latitudes and degrees. Your book.
Well, I can
Okay.
tell you right now, there's a spooky beam of light coming from that constellation that we were talking about,
Wait.
and one of those,
Like not in the thing or in the orb.
like in the sky, there are beams of light coming down, shining down on the town, and 3 of those beams I can make out. One of them's going on the end, one of them's going on the airship, and one of them's going on the tent. Vestia's tent.
Okay.
So maybe take someone with you.
Well, I did actually want to get the book on the dragons, being that the new stuff has. I want to read up more on the blue, green, and gold
I
dragons.
assume you still have that because I gave it to you to learn Draconic, Lou.
Oh, okay.
So you probably still have it unless you finished doing Draconic, in which case I will just give it back to you.
not recall ever.
Because in character, Alakul's probably read that book like 80 times. But yeah, Colin, if I can just do that with my book, I just want to figure out
Yeah,
how
you
far
can
he would have gotten away from
you
town.
can pretty easily do that while at the end. You don't you can just read that in on latitudes and
Okay, can you show me on the map? On the Stalreich map?
yes, on the Stahlreich map, you were basically around here, a little bit off the beaten path on Emperor's March. A week by foot is 1/4 of the way through this square, because you're sailing.
So he's there? He's like on
Yes,
the R?
yes. You would easily be able to catch up by airship, because it takes a month of travel per square on
one
foot.
square, okay.
It takes a week
Gotcha.
on an airship.
Gotcha. Okay. And I'm assuming we just reconvene, and that's where Beaver can tell me about the beams in the sky.
There's some weird fucking shit going on in this town with this constellations and the astrolabe and beams coming down from the sky, from the withered champion.
So if we're in the inn,
Yes, you're all served a large heaping plate of roasted meats. As one of the barmaids says, courtesy of Madame Vestia, she sent word that she owes you a little bit of thanks for something that you did for her. We didn't really ask questions, but she wanted you to make sure that you had a nice meal.
I try and sneak into the inn without touching the thing.
Sure, make a stealth roll. Or if you want to pretend that you did it, but don't make a sleight of hand roll.
No, I would just try and sneak in. It was a 12.
As you walk in, unfortunately, one of the barmaids does notice you and says, "Hey, it's bad luck. You know it's bad luck not to touch the mantle of a door when you walk through it, right?" Unfortunately, they did notice you. Unfortunately,
I will go back and I will hesitantly touch it.
Okay.
Go back. But as we are sitting, I would cast sending. But I think that Zara doesn't quite realize that she's speaking aloud. But I'm going to type it out because I realize I think we're about to wrap up as players. And if it is going to be a discussion point for next week, I would rather it be written down. If that makes sense.
yeah, go ahead and type it out. It's fine.
Would it be role playing? I guess.
That's fine. Or,
I mean, you could just type it into Foundry.
you type it in
That's true.
Foundry. It'll stay there till it'll stay there. As long as I don't delete the stuff.
I counted. That is 25 words.
Okay.
Counted that about 5 or 6 times.
Okay. I will send you a message later. But
Is that sending?
Yes, I'm casting sending, but she doesn't realize that she's speaking aloud.
I'll send you a message later as to what the response is. In fact, I already know the response in my head, but I will tell you later.
Don't be snarky. They're not you, Colin.
I mean, it's an ancient dragon. Do you think they're gonna fucking act?
Oh, well then.
They're not
You-
snarky. They're not you. Don't make them you.
You have 5 minutes to discuss what you learned, and then I'm moving on with the next thing, which will play into next week. So a 5-minute discussion, go.
Or interrogate Zara on what she just said.
Or interrogate Zara over what she just said. 5 minutes of role playing.
Well,
There
Reed will
we
be
go.
sputtering out his coffee. Tea.
What?
Now, Reed Underbow is a hard black coffee drinker now.
that barely even makes sense. Zara.
Huh?
The
Who the
hail
hell has
man
a
or young woman?
skull
I
I do
mean,
not know what you are talking about. Whoa, we're in an actual inn. Okay, I didn't see the image change. That freaked me out.
you see, when you use your vocal cords, Zara, and your mouth flaps, words come out.
I guess the first thing we should discuss is who are you even talking to?
I have an idea of who he was talking to, but
Are you saying that?
yeah,
Yeah. Also, the vocal cords and flapping mouth statement.
Don't clap your
Eckhart is
clap
the
yourself
I
near
like
the end.
Aruna a lot better than Eckhart, I'm not gonna lie. You guys missed the part where Ito spanked Aruna.
You're ruining our 5-minute RP discussion. Shut the fuck up.
Also, they can just go listen to it on my YouTube channel. It's uploaded. But the point is,
Oh, that's not fun. Lame.
I mean, they can, but they won't. But they can.
Yeah, it's true.
I'm gonna do it now.
Zara was talking to her. I'm drawing a blank.
Why are
What?
you
Your
talking
your
in the
dad?
Why are you talking in the third person?
No, I'm trying to answer Reed's question. Okay, I guess you have a point. Has Zara seen Reed and what's her name? His lady person?
I don't think she's seen Cora.
No, absolutely not.
Or
If
is in the
Klaus is
Underdark?
present, I would indicate that she was talking to her lover, sort of.
That is understating a little bit. She is lover and foe, pleasure and pain, light and shadow, master and mistress and slave at the same time.
You don't know if it's an old man or a young woman?
No, I know
Despite-
very well.
Despite being so intimate?
I know very well that it is neither an old man or a young woman, and also both an old man and a young woman.
I mean, I'm not.
You continue to make less and less
a
sense.
timeless changeling or something?
I did not hear Beaver.
A timeless changeling or something?
No. So
Something like that, yeah. It'd be a lot
something-
simpler if it was a changeling.
I'm assuming something big and blue, Miss Aldine.
Something borrowed and some. What?
Fuck you, Tommy. I forgot Zara's name was Aldine. Something like that, yeah.
You could, not beat around the bush and just tell us. That would be.
That would be a
simpler.
very long conversation that Colin does not have time for.
Write it down.
Look, it's late. I want to go to bed. I expect to hear more about that in the morning, if you would.
Okay.
If you talk with her about it, she will listen and talk back.
That's
Okay,
what I'm saying in character. I'm going to bed, but I would like you to talk to you about it in the morning.
Okay. The weird lady aside, what about the beams of magic bullshit?
Can we get that
Yeah.
on? Can we get that on a banner? The beans of magic bullshit. Can that be the name of the next chapter?
We'll get that installed in the ship.
That's good shit.
And
Anyway,
Beams
do you
Mag-
want to
Chapter 11, The Beams of Magic Bullshit.
Excellent. Do you want to stay in an inn where Klaus just pointed out there's magical beams of bullshit like raining down on it?
I mean, we would be staying there anyway, wouldn't we? Because it's
Well, the other part being
because
it's
the-
pointed at the tent and the airship too.
Yes, there's really nowhere else to sleep, so we might as well just try and make what we can out of this.
I mean, shouldn't we like split up and state. That I don't know. I don't know how to put thoughts into words.
Alternatively, it might be best if some of us stayed here and some of us stayed on the ship.
I will stay on the ship. I do not like these
I don't sleep.
herb ceiling people.
I don't sleep very long, so I could also stay on the ship. If someone else would like to stay here, I feel as if it would be best. And maybe even someone go check on the madam.
I'm good right here. Have some good tea and reach.
Well, the lady wouldn't let me stay, so.
Well, then I guess stay here or stay in the ship. But
We'll check on her in the morning.
Yeah. Sneaky, then I will stay here in the end.
I don't. Truthfully, I don't know what we are going to be able to do about beams of light from the sky from a constellation that really doesn't make much sense currently to me. So I need to sleep on it.
You and your arcane and your mystical.
Okay.
Did you keep things in the physical realm? It's much easier.
So Reed's staying here. Is that what you said,
Indeed.
Reed? Alakul's staying here.
No, Alakul's going to the ship.
I'm going to
Alakul's
go to the ship.
Did Reed acknowledge Zara asking about Parzula?
I did not know.
I'm trying to give you something, Luke. Take the fucking olive branch.
I didn't hear about. I mean, you were talking to Alakul with Parzula, and then you guys went to like another room or whatever.
No, the other room was a retcon. We were changing something. But I was asking about Parzula in front of Reed, and I was told that Reed has some knowledge of Parzula. So,
Very minimal.
I mean,
Reed has looked at a map.
Start.
gotta start somewhere, bucko.
Be like, hey, Par's Law, that's the place for the spider thing.
He's looked at a
With
map.
that,
He's also looked at a map of the sewer system.
with that, I'm going to go
Yeah.
to bed though.
Yeah.
And I bid you adieu. Out of character, I need to walk Ziggy again because she's being a real fucking bitch. And I'm assuming we'll be done by the time she fucking finishes.
Puppy's gonna pup. All right. I just need to know where is everyone gonna be? Alakul's gonna be at the ship.
Yep.
I'm gonna hang out
Reed
in
is gonna be
the
at the
woods. I'm gonna hang out in the woods around the tent where the lady is.
Okay.
Do you need anything
Eckhart's
else from me,
roughing it.
Colin?
Do I need anything?
Yeah, other
It's
than where
okay.
I'm gonna be.
I can tell you what happens. What's about to happen later. You can go walk the dog.
Okay. Alright.
So we got tent. We got
Airship.
inn. We got airship.
I am Team Tent.
Where's Klaus staying?
Airship.
Klaus is also airship.
No,
no.
Klaus is,
All right.
Klaus is
Klaus
in.
is-
Klaus,
Bed.
Siegfried, and Reed are in the inn. Eckhart's out in the
I'll
woods.
just type this out.
Just type it out.
Okay.
Into five. Good job, Tommy. I'm proud of you.
Team Tent. Low intelligence score. Yeah.
Okay. You all retire for the nights, promising more to dwell on this more in the morning. But you're tired. You fought and you've been to another realm and back, and type of thing that you don't really get to rest on, or that you don't want to just you don't want to. You want to be able to focus as you go over the clues that you've been given by the Mantis Queen.
Reed would spend a little bit of time studying the Draconica about the green, blue, and gold dragons specifically.
You do, however, take a not a long rest, but a short rest at the very least. Unless you're, well, I guess it depends. If you have a short rest or a long rest that is only 4 hours, like elves and stuff like that, you do get to take a long rest. But if not, in the
Don't
middle
think so.
of the morning, about 3 o'clock, the inn begins to, or the inn, the airship, and Madame, the fortune teller's tent, Madame Vestia's tent, start to rumble violently, enough to wake you from your sleep, enough that the chandeliers swing and the candles that have burnt low or burnt out just topple over. Enough that it immediately wakes you from your sleep. For a moment, you think perhaps it was just a bad dream. Perhaps it was nothing. You just woke up. But then this rumble comes again, much more forceful. Eckhart,
Yes.
from the tent in the woods, you can see Madame Vestia's tent is glowing bright now. It almost looks like a cascade of starlight that is spinning within it. Basically, you see all sorts of beams of light that are pressed. You can see them going against the edge of the tent, essentially the fabric of the tent, spinning around like a disco ball, basically. Just as you're sort of getting out to look at it worried, you see Madame Vestia stagger out, moving away. She stumbles to the ground near you, sort of slowly rising up from her feet. A look of confusion on her face. She looks back at her tent. I don't understand what is happening. What the hell? As all of a sudden her tent shoots up in the air 30 feet, and then it is shed to the side and flutters to the ground. You see the astrolabe floating in the air. A single beam of light that is piercing down upon it. It's the stars on it casting projections around. As essentially, the airship, the inn, the tent, the blacksmith, which was the place where where Alec Cool can get the double dackers, and the local livery, where they actually have a very special mount, all of a sudden are yanked, pulled away. You can see the entire, several boards from the inn get yanked away. Several boards of the airship get pulled away, as all of a sudden it coalesces into a massive form. That of what appears to be some sort of maybe 30 to 40 foot high golem. Much like the statues, but now not just a single statue, an amalgamation. You can see the tent swirls around it, and within it, within this swirling form, you can see the faint outlines of what appears to be starlight, as if the withered champion had basically had its form projected onto this golem, this 30-foot tall golem that has been made from the starlight, from the local area and stuff like that.
God damn golems.
Damn golems. But we'll have to pick it up next week with you fighting a 30-foot tall golem, however you see fit.